It's Tuesday, what is it? No, I can't write. May 19th, Tuesday, May 19th, 2020, day 17 of Flippin Live. My name is Andrew from 510 Books, and we have been going live for 17 days here on the YouTube channel. And today, talk about a variety of things, including some sales that I had yesterday, how the Facebook ad is going, some sales I had today, eBay sales, and maybe dive into some estate sales and answer any of your questions. So let's get started.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, we're flippin' live.
Good morning, guys. Excuse me. Good morning, guys. Glad everyone is here on this lovely Tuesday morning. Actually, it was I'm here in Southern California, and it's been a little bit. Sorry, adjusting the light. It's a little bright. It got really warm last week, and then suddenly it got cold over the weekend, and yesterday actually rained, which was strange. It hasn't rained in quite a while, so we'll see how the weather continues here, but it's been an odd one. Hope everything's going well with the start of the week for you guys. I see Brian made a comment. He said, good morning, Manny, how you doing? Excuse me. Okay. Found an audiobook in my death pile that I'd forgotten about. I had dismissed it since it had library stickers on it, but I realized people won't care as long as I describe it in the condition notes. Yeah, I would say library stickers, anything from the library is fine as long as it's in, decent condition, depending on what it is. If it's an audiobook, you definitely, if it has stickers, it's fine. It doesn't really matter as long as it's, as long as the box is intact. Of course, all the discs should be there, and they should be able to be playable, and the box should not have massive tears or missing components, that type of thing. Any damage that it has, you should be able to describe it, and depending on how bad it is, if it just has stickers on it, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition, usually just be able to list it as good and just indicate that it's a library copy, and that should be fine. But yeah, I sell library copies of books, audiobooks, CDs, whatever. Even I've come across a lot of CDs that have, unfortunately, they put stickers on the actual artwork on the front or on the inside, and then a lot of times on the actual top of the disc, they'll do that as well. But I found that a lot of those discs, a lot of those CDs from libraries actually can be very valuable. I found quite a few that I've sent into Amazon, or I've sold some on eBay, but mostly sent those into Amazon as well. Sometimes they can be more rare discs, CDs. So definitely, if you go to a library sale when things open back up, when back to normal, or if you just find library items from libraries, even if they have stickers on them, sometimes they'll have those stickers, the white stickers, and then the stamps all over them with the dates that people checked them out, that type of thing. It's better to just leave them than to try to take them off. Usually they're impossible to take off, or they're going to damage the item, either the book cover or the spine or the inside of it, or the artwork on the CD or the box of the audiobook, whatever it may be. Usually, you just want to leave those alone and just indicate that it's a library copy with various stickers, stamps, etc. They also might have stamps on them, which you can't do much about, and you don't need to. Just make sure that you let people know. Of course, with eBay, it's easy because you can just take pictures of it. With Amazon, you should put it in your condition notes, and that's about all you can do, right? Some people will never read the condition notes, but that's the best you can do for sure. But definitely send that in. Michael, good morning. Interesting workaround with a lot of textbooks being able to sell. Look up by title and author instead of ISBN. I don't really understand. Are you saying for Amazon? Yeah, definitely the CDs from library sales they can be super rare, valuable. Not always, but I found that a high percentage of them actually can be. It's funny. It's the library has the ability to find these types of CDs which are harder to find, or they have a demand, but they're super niche, and people just or they end up in libraries, and after a certain amount of time, the libraries will want to get rid of them. And I find that some of those can have a good amount of wear on the CD, on the disc. So if you have a resurfacer, it might be a good idea to resurface it. If you don't have a resurfacer, you should probably test the disc if it has a fair amount of wear. Oh, yeah, yeah. People are banned from textbooks. They are, unfortunately. That is, yeah, I guess certain ones, right? But yeah, in general, uh, just be aware when you're dealing with the library copies that they're going to usually have stuff on them, stickers and stamps, and they could have a good amount of wear, which was probably, or which might be the reason why the library's looking to get rid of that copy. Maybe they're replacing it with another copy, maybe they're just getting rid of it. But a lot of times those will end up either at library book sales, or they might end up in a thrift store, or they might end up in a Gaylord, whatever it is. But don't pass those by, because some people will just see, oh, library copy, forget it. No one wants to buy that, and that's not true. Especially if it's a more rare item, they might be worth some serious money for sure. Yeah, Brian says he originally tried removing the stickers, but unlike Goodwill stickers, they would just tear off the artwork or leave sticky residue on the CD. It was a big, yeah, definitely big time waster. You don't want to mess with that. I would recommend just leaving them on there for sure. Um, let's see. Yesterday, well, first before that, um, I had yesterday, because of the Facebook ad I'm running. I had someone contact me in the morning saying they needed to donate books ASAP! Exclamation point! They said ASAP. When could we set up a time? And I said, well, how about 3 o'clock today, which was yesterday? And they said, great. And then they showed up at 3. We met at 3 o'clock at the warehouse, and this guy he didn't actually have that much. I mean, he had like a cup, like 3 small, like tiny boxes, and then maybe another bigger one, a medium one. So it wasn't a lot of stuff, but it was mostly books. They had a few DVDs in there. They had some Harry Potter tin called Art Box. I don't know what that is, but it was empty. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. What I could do with that. I might use it for decoration or something. But yeah, so they had some stuff in there. And then he said that they are moving. They live nearby, close to my warehouse in the adjacent city. And they said they are moving, so they're going through a lot of stuff. And he said, oh, we're definitely going to have more to donate as we go through everything. So So some people are looking because they're in a time crunch. They're packing their stuff. They don't want to take more stuff with them, so they're looking to just donate things. And as you get book donations, you think people will throw in other stuff because they'll have their CDs or they'll have their DVDs stacked next to it. And they'll say, "Oh, I don't want that. I haven't used that in a while, so I'll just donate that as well." So that's awesome. We got another donation. And then I met a guy yesterday morning who wanted to buy some textbooks that I had. These were textbooks that were in that big lot that I got for free from that. It was a business tutoring type business that was closing their business, and they were just giving away all their books. And it's where I found a ton of books to resell on, well, a good amount, a lot to sell on Amazon, FBA, and Merchant Fulfilled. And so I still had those, and the guy saw that I had an ad, and he asked me if I had any college textbooks, and I said, well, I took a look, and it turned out I had about like, I don't know, 10 or so, and then he had certain uh, um, or categories that he wanted, genres, and so I had some of those, and he bought 6 of them anyway, so that was cool. And he said he's going to follow my page, and he'll want to come back to when I have a sale. So you just never know. And this ad was an old ad that I forgot to take down off of Facebook Marketplace that was for an upcoming warehouse sale, and he saw that, and he contacted me through there. So that was good. Made a few bucks selling I sold the textbooks $5 each. These are older ones, but still cheaper than he could get them elsewhere. Um, Michael said, so for any who's there, donations from people are great. It's 100% of my sourcing. Definitely worth the free sources. Well, work the free sources. A lot of referrals from donors too. Also, try to align with realtors as they have the inside scoop on houses with books. Working with one right now. Awesome, Michael. So let us know in the chat here, since you are getting donations, how you go about that. I've placed an ad on Facebook, $5 a day. It's a video ad, and it's attached to my my public Facebook page for 510 Books, which is my Facebook page where I put everything that has to do with my local sale. And I'm trying to build that following. So are you doing ads as well, or maybe Google ads or something? But yeah, real estate agents, that's a good idea. I've heard that from other people on some of the Facebook groups that they'll work with either or both. Real estate agents, or of course estate sale companies as well. But it's true, real estate agents know when a place is going to sell, whether they have books, and they're not in the business of dealing with that. They just want to sell the house or help someone buy a house. So that's a good idea too. How do you just call realtors, or how do you meet realtors? How do you go about that? I'd be interested to know as well. Oops. Google only, and I'm about to roll out Facebook ads as I can fine tune the areas better on Facebook. Yeah. Cool. Definitely. Um, so I'm finding that it's become really powerful. I'm actually, I've got, let's see, so far I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So four separate people have donated to me within, let's say I started last Friday, so that's 8, 9, 10. So 11 days. I've had 4 donations, and today I have another appointment at 10 a.m. to pick up a bunch of books and some DVDs as well from a lady nearby. And they're all bagged up. She actually sent me some photographs of them already. I couldn't see the books really, but a good amount. So I'm to the point now where I'm getting, I wouldn't say inundated, but I'm getting a lot of books, and I'm still in my process in the warehouse. I'm still working through the last DVDs to photograph them, and then I still have to get to all those records I have, which is the next thing I'm going to do. to organize all of that. And then basically what's going to happen with the books is they're just going to keep piling up. And at some point, once I finish going through the records, and I'll probably start digging into the book so I can start organizing all that. It feels amazing to be able to get all these books, and it plays in really well, or it fits in really well with my local sale and the idea of building this community, these fans, so to speak, followers, who will look to my page as a place where they can send people who want to buy books and other media, or send people that want to donate, or trade, or whatever it may be. Or if they have really valuable collections, I'm even willing to buy collections off people. That's not something I've really tried yet. I'm just focusing on the donations at this point. But it's true, I think that it comes from building this network of people that know who you are locally. That's why it's great to do super local. I'm not expanding out to 20, 30 miles away. I'm just keeping it local because there's a lot of people that live here, even within like a 10-mile radius. I don't know how many people, but I know it's definitely probably in the hundreds of thousands, 500,000 people within like a 10, 12-mile radius. And so I don't know if it's that many. It probably is, actually, considering how far out that is. Anyway, so it's a lot of people. So I just try to go hyper local and become the book source, right? I mean, here locally we have Barnes and Noble, and then aside from that, there's a couple of small used bookstores, small ones that mostly have a certain niche they focus on, but they definitely don't sell a lot of the other media. Bum, bum, bum. Uh, huh. Michael says he's also considering mailing to homes that just listed on the market. I heard that was a good way to get books too, huh? Well, you never know. You can always try it out and see how it goes. Um, I don't know how much that costs. I don't know, but you could try it out. I know Facebook ads are pretty inexpensive, and I assume they're a little cheaper now, although I'm not sure. But $5 is good. I mean, I've been able to get in front of thousands of eyes with $5 a day. I don't know how many a day. Hundreds of people are seeing my ad a day, and I'm getting a good response. I'll go like a day without hearing anything, and then suddenly I'll get two or three messages in a day, and it's sort of up and down. And I think if I'm just consistent about it, I'll run it for a month, see how it ends up going, um, and so far so good. Anyway, so that's good. I have a appointment today at 10, and it's just funny. I was telling my wife yesterday. I was like, people are excited to give me their books for free. It's they like the idea of it just going to someone else to read, but also they feel good about just getting it away from themselves. It's like the decluttering, whether they're moving, whether they're spring cleaning, just having so much time at home because of quarantine, going through everything, organizing it, realizing I have too many books, or I don't want these books, I'm not going to read them again, so I might as well just donate them, get them out of my life, because books are big, books are heavy, they take up space, and people, want to free that space up. Yeah, no, definitely. I have been thinking about, yeah, I've been thinking about putting a sign up in my warehouse sale, and also possibly handing out like a tiny little flyer, maybe, that just says, it's something about donations, right? We take book and media donations, or do trade-ins. I've had somebody do a trade-in with CDs, and I was able to give him. It was something like he gave me all the CDs, and then I allowed him to buy a couple of records. He wanted to get like 3 records or something, which for $3 a piece. So I did that. I didn't really look through the CDs. I just said okay in the moment, and it turned out that most of the CDs were not worth too much, but there were a couple that I was able to list like on Merchant Fulfilled or something like that. But I'm more than willing to do that. I've got a lot of records, and I don't mind somebody trading in, and I want the goodwill, and I want people to be able to come in and say, oh, do you take donations? Do you take trade-ins? And that's a good way, to get the stuff that would end up on thrift store shelves, so that it never ends up there, that it goes straight to me. You can become the go between, or the other option versus a thrift store. So that's why this kind of thing takes time. If I keep doing the ad, or advertising this, and keep talking to people and keep pushing it, hopefully by next year, I don't know how long, but I'll have grown my Facebook page. My first big goal is to get to 1,000 followers. I'm almost at 200 right now, just a couple shy. And they're really responsive. Like when I post a meme, people look at it. People, haha, smiley face. Some people comment, say that's funny or whatever. If I ask a question, people comment. People are interactive because it's Facebook. So I think that's a really powerful way to get people together. It's kind of the second best thing to having like an email list of people that you can email and say, come on out to my sale, or I have this thing for sale. I have these books for sale. Do you want them? That's what I'm thinking as I grow it too, is that when I come across a good item, like a nice set of books or whatever, I can post on Facebook and say, oh, look what we're having at our next sale, as an enticement, or even say, these are up for sale, who wants them? And somebody could claim them on Facebook and then come down and just buy them. So there's options for that as well. Um, yeah, I had one person do a trade in. So I think trade ins are great because I don't mind the stuff I have out for sale. I've already either bought, or it's already been given to me. I've already made the money back, and more, if I spent money on it. So I don't mind trading it in, potentially to get some good stuff. I mean, depends on what they're giving me, right? If they're giving me, I think I'll take just about most trade-ins at this point. Maybe down the road I'll be a little pickier, but I think it's just good to do that in general for sure. JD says, I'm surprised with all the donations. Um, no, I mean, yeah, I'm not too surprised, considering that people are quarantined and they can't donate anywhere. But also coupled with when things do open, even before, people, a lot of thrift stores I know in my area, some of them were not accepting books because they just get too many of them and they don't have the space. Uh, and that's not really where they're making a lot of their money anyway. Most of their money is made on clothing, and furniture and that type of stuff. But also, a lot of thrift stores, or just people that accept donations, or organizations that accept donations, will not go to your house and pick up stuff from you, especially books. So that's what I've heard from other people, from multiple people in my area. They have said that either because of an ad I was posting, they commented and said that, or in person, people have said that at my sales. Um, so those are probably a couple of reasons why a lot of people are donating. And it's also that time of the year. It's spring cleaning time. We're heading into the summer, so people are at home. Hold on a second, my kids are yelling. Hey, 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 Bianca, Diego. No tan fuerte. Estoy haciendo mi programa, okay? Shh. Yeah, so it's been a good it's been a test. I mean, I've been seeing how many people I can, or how many people will donate to me because of this ad. Yeah. Yeah, Manny says our Goodwills weren't taking any donations, and people just dumped all the donations in the donation center driveway. Yeah, I mentioned that in a stream we did, where I saw the same thing in front of the Goodwill nearby where I live, that they have a big iron gate that was closed, and I saw a pile of stuff that had been dumped there. And clearly, it looked like not only had it been dumped there, but it looked to me like people had gone through it. This Goodwill is right next door to a mobile home park that is not a nice mobile home park, in the sense of there are some that are nearby that they have nice homes. People take really good care of them. They're big houses. And this is a much more poor one. And there's a lot of people around there that are using drugs and things like that. Hence, probably why the goodwill is there. And so my assumption is I don't know, but my assumption is a lot of them were locally going through that stuff because it's just sitting there for free, right? And people are probably dumping some good stuff there, some clothes and other items. So it's just crazy that I don't know if Goodwill had a sign in front saying "Do not leave items out here, no dumping," but I guess some people just didn't care and they dumped stuff. And I'm not sure if it's because it's on their property. I don't know if you can go there legally and go through that stuff, but it's definitely out there and accessible to anybody that wants to go out and um, and check it out. So that was unfortunate. Who knows what was in there? Who knows if there was any books? But anyway, we'll see going forward how it goes. I've had a lot of other people saying, "Oh, most people when they contact me, they say it's either immediately I want to donate or it's asking questions. Where are you? When are you open? Or it's things like that. Is it free?" And it always ends up almost all of them end up saying, "Oh, I'm not ready yet to donate. Give me a little more time." So I had to be patient with some people and just wait them out, and then eventually they get around to donating. So anyway, so yeah, that's been really kind of fun, interesting. I mean, not fun, but it's been interesting to see how many people actually do or are willing to donate. So I wanted to share. So over the weekend, I was talking about how my individual eBay sales had slowed down. On Sunday, I got a couple additional sales, which was nice, and I actually had a lot of DVD lots up on eBay that sold on Sunday. So I ended up having a really great weekend, and it was because of those DVD lots. But I wanted to share the end of here of a video about just I'll talk over it because I didn't end up talking over it, but it's just video. But about the sales and here, let me. So I did well over the weekend. Did $480 in sales. A lot of it was DVD. So yeah, here's all of it. It was a little bit of craziness. I had a lot of boxes, a lot of stuff to pack, which I was really thankful for. But I spent yesterday just packing stuff up. I had 2 Amazon sales as well, and a lot of that was DVD sales. Sorry, DVD. Here, I wanted to show you this. So I had a 12 Barney DVDs in a lot on eBay. Here they are. And they ended up going for $44, and there were 37 bids. Now, these Barney CD DVDs, I had been talking about it for a while in some of the videos I made, where in my warehouse as I was going through all the Gaylords, I had what do you call it? I had tons of DVDs to go through, and so instead of as I would I would put all the kids' DVDs to the side, and then I would start listing those right in different genres or different series by series and things. And some of them I was just keeping that's because I had more DVDs to go through. So I kept like Barney and Thomas and Friends and a lot of other ones, Sesame Street and Barbie. And I got up to 12 individual Barney titles, and it worked out, right? It ended up selling for $44. And then I had the Barbie ones, 15 Barbie DVDs, which as you can see is right there. And that ended up going 47 bids for $86. So I definitely recommend if you're going to come across stuff like that you kind of try to build up a collection, so to speak, and yeah, a lot of bids, and try to curate it to get a lot of them, because if you have like 4 Barney DVDs, unless they're all really valuable, it's probably not going to go for that much in an auction. But if you can get a lot together, as many as possible, if you're dealing with bulk, and this could be the same thing with CDs, but this works really well with kids DVDs because if it's the same series, it's the same thing with books, right? If you have the same series, the more you have, the better. Although you might want to just buy it now. But if you want to do quick and do an auction, the more you get, the better. I was pleasantly surprised by how much those went for. Um, and some of these DVD series, kids DVD series, will go for a lot of money, as you can see, if you can get a nice amount together. I also did Thomas and Friends. It was like 22 of them, and that did not go for nearly as much money. So it depends on the series. Barbie, really, really good, did really well. Barney, also Sesame Street did pretty well. And I would say too, like Disney, right? If you have some really good titles, a lot of Disney titles, animated titles together. If you have like the whole Pixar collection or DreamWorks, so you can sell those for really good money. That's for sure. How many? That was 15 Barbie DVDs. I don't think individually for eBay they were worth I don't think they were selling individually. Uh, I know there was one Barney one that was pretty good individually. Maybe it was going for over $10 or so, but I just decided to put them all together and see what happened, and did pretty well. The Barbie one, I mean, you consider, what was it, 15? That was like, that's like around $5 a DVD. So that was really um, a positive outcome. Now I don't know if could I have sold it for that much and buy it now? I don't know. I had no idea how much it would actually go for. So that gives you an idea. But people will spend money for their kids for sure, and they might be collecting them for the kids. They might just want a ton of them, that their daughter might love Barbie, or their kid might love Barney or whatever, and they just want to complete it. So yeah, that was good. Uh, Brian says he's gonna get on. He's gonna get on next door. That's good. Um, I haven't really explored next door too much. I tried to get my business on there, and I couldn't figure out. I got it on there, and then it said something like I needed to have somebody leave a review in order for it to go public. It was a weird situation, so it didn't end up working out, or I couldn't figure out how to do it. I had somebody leave a review, and then it still wasn't visible. And then they took the review off, so I don't really understand what happened with that. But Nextdoor it seems to be really good, a good way, excuse me, to try to look super locally for stuff. I know that people post on there a lot for giving away things for free, or selling things, but it seems to be more active just with local issues and people commenting on what's going on in the neighborhood and that type of thing. People complaining about stuff, or looking for referrals. That's another big one on Nextdoor. Is people say, "Hey, do you have a good plumber? Do you have a good cabinet maker? Do you have somebody, a good gardener?" That type of stuff, and people jump on there with all their recommendations. So you just got to figure out how to go about, leveraging that, and using that for your to your advantage. Because there are definitely people that use it are super. They're really into it. Every time someone posts on there, people tend to jump on there and have something to say or interact a lot. Um, yeah. So yeah, guys. I mean, it could be DVDs, it could be books, it could be CDs. It's similar with CDs when it comes to certain groups and artists that I found. Like for instance, I sold a Madonna lot, like 9 Madonna CDs in an auction for pretty good money. I don't remember off the top of my head how much, but I know that one did well. The other thing is, of course, if somebody dies, uh, then an entertainer dies, then if you have a lot of their stuff, then or an actor, whatever it may be, you should put that up for sale. For instance, Kenny Rogers died recently, and I had a lot of his CDs for sale locally, and I took all the titles out, individual titles, and I put it up in an auction. I think it was like 15 or 16, and it got a lot of attention. Ended up selling for like 50 something dollars, the final auction amount. Um, I thought it would be more, but it depends. Like, but imagine if somebody's super famous, a very, very like when Prince had first, when Prince died years ago, Imagine if you had a bunch of his CDs. I bet you that it would have gone for a lot of money on eBay. I know a lot of his stuff on Amazon went up dramatically, a lot of his CDs, and people were selling stuff for crazy 40, $50 a pop on a CD that you can get now for much less. So that's another thing to consider as well. If you've got a title of somebody, a lot of their different CDs are, yeah. Aretha Franklin, yeah, definitely. I remember that after she had died, that a lot of her stuff was going for good money as well. So that's something that unfortunately, uh, that's someone dying, some famous person dying, entertainer is actually a good thing financially for resellers if you happen to have some of their items, whatever it is, whether they were singers and actors, writers. I mean, it depends, right? But definitely entertainers. Ah, yeah. Michael says you can do 4 to 6 times your money flips on Let Go app with textbooks if you don't mind spending more money. Yeah. So give me an example. Would you say like you buy something for $10 and then sell it for 40 to 60 bucks? That kind of thing. Yeah, I'm assuming that if you look on there consistently, maybe have an alert or something for textbooks that you probably come across them. I wonder if that's the same for what's the other app? Let Go and Offer Up. Offer Up. I wonder if that's. Oh wow. Okay. Um. Sorry. I'll tell you what I just saw on my phone, but I get distracted easily. Yeah. So I've never done that, but that's good, right? Like if you buy something for 10, this is just a simple example, for $10, and then you can make 4 to 6 times your money. So at least 4 times you can sell it for $40 on Amazon after fees. I don't know, depends, maybe $30 or something, but you'll more than double your money. If you can do that a lot and you have the money to front it, yeah, why not? And sometimes you will come across ones that'll probably go for 10 times your money, for sure. And I, I've always wondered, like, so Michael, are these mostly? I'm assuming these are college kids, right? College age kids who are just looking to get some money back for their textbook. Do you usually meet them somewhere? Do you find that there's enough of those that you can find, I don't know, dozens of books in a week or something? The other thing that would seem like a downside would be what do you call it? Whether not a downside, but I guess whether how many books you could actually find. I know that after school is out, like right now is probably a really good time because they're selling off their textbooks. So probably right after school is done is a good time, and right after what do you call it? Probably the beginning of the year, that type of thing. Yeah, you have to move fast. Absolutely, for sure. But that's a good idea. So I had a guy contacted me. I had posted on Facebook like over a week ago. I didn't think it would work to sell my 7 pallets and 7 Gaylord boxes. I put it up for just $20, just because I wanted to get rid of them. I didn't want to do it for free, so I just figured I'd just put $20. And somebody just contacted me early this morning saying if they were still available. I said yes, and they said, yeah, I can come by. They just said I can come by today to get them. So that's awesome. Um, it looks like I might be able to free up that space, because where I am now with bulk buying is because this ad is working on Facebook. I really wanted to try it out for a month and see how it goes, and also see how it goes as we start to lift, um, the lockdown in terms of like retail spaces. So once thrift stores start opening, how well will my ad do up against all the thrift stores reopening? I still think that I will do really well because because I'm willing to pick things up, right? If people don't want to do a drop off, number one. And number two, because I'm a bookseller. So I'm targeting books and I'm a bookseller versus I'm a thrift store. And yeah, they sell books, but it's not their specialty. So my thought is that people would want to donate, possibly some people would want to donate more to a bookstore, a bookseller who really knows books and will likely be able to distribute the books better than a thrift store. Anyway, we'll see if that is actually true. Once thrift stores open in my area, I'll see how well I can do to compete against them, because certainly people are stacking up their stuff to donate and books are included. So we'll see. I was going to say something else and I just blanked. Anyway, so we see a couple more people have joined us. Awesome, guys. Thank you for joining. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. This is Flippin Live. We do a live streaming show every day from 7 a.m. Pacific time to 8 a.m., an hour-long show. This is our 17th day in a row. It's our quarantine show, 17th day in a row as we're quarantined. So we're talking about a lot of different stuff here for reselling. Feel free to participate in the chat. What were you saying earlier? Anyway, all right. So that's what I wanted to talk about too, was some of the sales that I had over the evening, over the night. These were eBay sales that I had. I only had 3, which was good. I had 2 CD sales. Does anyone recognize this cover? I did not grow up listening to them, but maybe some of you did. Let me know in the chat if you know who this is. I won't tell you yet. Anybody? So I sold this one. Let me see if I find how much I sold this for here real quick while you guys try to figure out who it is. Some of you might know. All right, this one sold for $10.99, free shipping. Anybody know who this is? Nobody? Okay, that's fine. It's Led Zeppelin. This is one that I pulled out of a Gaylord, and this one sold for $10.99, free shipping. It's Led Zeppelin in through the outdoor. Some of their stuff, I like right now. I have, that Led Zeppelin box set. It's like an orange cover. It's got that blimp thing on the front, and it's got comes with 4 CDs, and also comes with a booklet and whatnot. I don't have the box set or the booklet, the actual container case, but I do have all 4 CDs. I come across those all the time in Gaylords. I actually have them all out for sale locally, and people buy them pretty frequently. But if you put all 4 of them together, because it says disc 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you get all 4 discs together. You can sell them as a lot on eBay. So currently I have those for sale. You can sell them easily without the box set and the booklet, anything like that. Led Zeppelin, all classic rock stuff will sell all day long. I find that actually at my local sale, people will consistently buy a lot of the classic rock. They'll look for the Led Zeppelin, look for the Pink Floyd, Steely Dan, Eagles, all that stuff, right? All the other artists you can think of that would fall under classic rock. I've got basically all of them out there, at least something for a lot of them, some of their titles. And people will buy them up. I'm selling CDs $2 a pop at the local sale. And people will come away buying 10, 12, 15, 20 CDs. And those do really well on eBay. Like right now I have a lot of a classic rock CD lot on eBay that's getting a good amount of attention and bids. I think it's like 22 or 19. I think it's 19 actually. 19 in a lot, and it's doing well. So, and these can be titles and artists that are very well known, and the titles have sold millions of copies. But if you put them all together, if you put the Eagles one with the Steely Dan, with a James Taylor, with a Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin, whatever. I'm blanking on some of the other titles right now, but you get 10 of them together, 12 of them, 15, 20 together. People will eat those up, and you can do pretty well in auctions for sure. Yeah, well, whoops. I'm not familiar with the artwork either, but this is Led Zeppelin. I mean, this is from I don't know what year this was. This is definitely probably an older one, but yeah, that's Led Zeppelin. And then I sold one, a Spanish language one, Éxitos, and it's called Banda Maguay. Maguay. It's a lot of guys in the group, and they like to show their chests off. So anyway, this one is a Spanish language one. I actually took an offer. I had it listed for $14.99, best offer, and they offered me, what did they offer me? 10. I came back with 11, and they bought it. So that's fine with me. This is not one that I don't think there were very many copies on eBay, and it's not selling that often. But this is the perfect kind of CD that you can put up and make $10, or sell for 10, 11, 12 bucks. So I would, if you come across Spanish language ones, either buying in bulk or even in a thrift store. I mean, if you can buy this for $1 at a thrift store and sell it for $10 or $11, right, and make $4 or $5 off of it, it's the same as if you did it on Amazon. You just have to list it yourself and take photographs and everything. Just type in the title, look it up, the CD on eBay, and a lot of times, even if you don't find very many titles, or if it hasn't sold that often, it's still probably worth it to put up there. Would I have bought this for $1 at a thrift store to resell it on eBay, based on what I had found? I don't know. Maybe 50 cents, probably. $1, maybe not. But definitely, if you buy it in bulk, and this is in there, absolutely put that up for sale. I have sold tons of Spanish language music CDs on eBay. Because even though there are not many copies of a certain title, there's a huge fan bases for this stuff, and lots of eBay buyers that buy Spanish language music CDs. So definitely don't pass those by. Look those up for sure. Okay, good question. Brian says, I need to do a list of artists that are worth making lots of. Would the pop genre do well as lots? Yes, especially the older pop from like 80s, 90s. So I've done well with lots of, like, if you do Britney Spears, put Britney Spears together with the Spice Girls, with NSYNC, with Backstreet Boys, with what are some other ones from that era? Other ones from that era, you put all different titles together in a lot, you can do pretty well. People will, I mean, think about how many albums they sold, and think about now people that grew up, like myself, that grew up during that time, are now older, in their 40s, 30s, whatever, depending on the age. And they have more money, they're nostalgic, and they see that and they say, oh, cool, let me buy this lot of 12 pop CDs of NSYNC and Britney Spears and Spice Girls and all this other stuff. Now, I wouldn't buy those CDs for $1 a piece in a thrift store, but if you buying in bulk and you can get a bunch of them for really cheap, and you're only spending a nickel, 10 cents on a CD, and then you put them together, yeah, you can do decent. But only if you're buying them for cheap, not if you're spending a lot of money on each individual CD. Then it's not worth it, unless you're willing to do a buy it now and wait it out. Then you might make some more money. But I would say it's best auction wise. To use auctions, it's probably best to do. To not spend that much money on those CDs, because you never know how the auction is going to go. But definitely. Also 80s can do really well. Like if you have 80s pop, like Gloria Estefan and Madonna, and all different stuff. Also Mariah Carey is another good one to throw in with those pop CDs. Who else? No, they're newer. Justin Timberlake's a little bit later on, but you could put him in there if you were kind of going like 90s to 2000s. I've done that, like 90s 2000s pop and mix in the 90s stuff with the 2000s. Or you can do just 2000s pop and that does well. Um, like uh, Justin Timberlake. What are they called? Like you do like No Doubt, Gwen Stefani, Pink. Pink does well. Well, I'm blanking on the name of them. One Direction, all that stuff together for like 2000s pop, uh, and that can do well in an auction for sure. Um, yeah, Celine Dion, you can put together with like I have one right now. It's Celine Dion, Enya, and Sade, and I don't think it's getting a ton of action, but I have to check. Let me check real quick. But I know Celine Dion by herself. You can do a Celine Dion lot with all different titles, and that can do decent. Here, I'm gonna check. Uh, let's see. Whoops. All right. Adult contemporary, not doing that great. Old rock, soft rock, R&B. Okay, so I have 2 days left on that lot. I've had two bids, so it's Sade, Enya, and Celine Dion. It's up to $2. We'll see what happens. Um, we'll see what happens with that. But my classic rock, 19 classic rock CDs. So far, the bidding has gone up to $21.50. I've had 23 bids on it. There's still two days and 8 hours to go. Yeah. Also, loose CDs and DVDs do well also, but yeah, Celine Dion is tough. Enya, Sade. With Celine Dion, I would just put her together. If you can get enough different titles together, you could probably do. Let's look here, a decent Celine Dion. Whoa. Oh man. I'm going to do a lot. I'm looking up on eBay and I'll see if I can find anything good here that have sold. All right, let me share my screen and then let's see if we can. How many titles, hey John Doe, is the most you will list on an eBay CD genre lot? Genre. I used to go huge on them. I used to have like 40, 50, and that was just too much. I'd rather break them down into smaller lots. So I would say try to have at least 10 or 12 minimum, and then maybe go up to like 20, 25 at most. But I tend to stay between 10 to 20. If I've got 40 country CDs, then I'll typically do is I'll get all the ones from the 90s and put them together. Get the ones from 2000s, or I'll do all female country singers or all male country singers, that type of thing. I'll try to break them up by the decades, by the years. I don't know enough about country to know what types of country there are, so I can't do it that way. But I would do it by genre, by that way. Oh, yeah. So do you auction auto relist if unsold? No, I'll just relist it myself. I don't do auto relist. I'll just go in there. Usually most of them sell. So there's only a few that won't sell. That out of like 20 lots that I'll put up, maybe one or two won't sell, but majority will. And then I'll just relist them myself. Do you set a JDS? Do you set a minimum? No, I don't. So that's a gamble I take, but because I'm dealing in bulk, I don't mind it only getting a couple of bids. I'd rather just sell it and get rid of it than have to hassle with keeping it another week. So that's me personally. Everyone's going to be different. You could send a minimum, but I don't do that. So, and it's, some sell for $1, $2, and some sell for $20, $30, $40. So it just depends, I look this this is an alternative to doing like declutter or something like that, a buyback program. And I find selling off a lot of them that you can make good money. How much you're going to make per CD? It's going to vary. but I don't look at it as per CD. I just, because there's so many. I have 2,000 CDs in a Gaylord of CDs. So if I'm only spending 225 bucks on the Gaylord, and 80% of those CDs I'm going to have to sell locally or in lots. Well, over time, I'll make way more than that just by selling the lots. So that's how I look at it. But anyway, what was I gonna? Oh, right. So Celine Dion. Let's just, as an example, let's have some fun looking this up. So here, I'm gonna move my screen. These are actually buy it nows. Look at that. That's different though. See, this is weird. It says 90s alternative CD lot, but that's not really Celine Dion. They just threw it in there. I don't know what they mean. Here's a lot of 9 Celine Dion CDs. These are loose CDs, and they sold it for $13.93. And those are loose CDs, so that's something to keep in mind if you're willing to wait around for it. Look at this one, Vintage Pop Music Divas. So these are all female. See, this is good. I'm doing this right now, actually. I have a all female singer. I've done it quite a few times. CD lot, and I've sold some of them for really good money. Like I'll put Cher, Celine Dion, Enya, Sade, Nora Jones, Amy Grant, Belinda Carlisle. What's her name? Sarah McLachlan. All those together. Madonna, into a big lot of 20, 30, and I've done well on some of those. Here's one lot of 7 Celine Dion CDs. So 7, they did free shipping though, $15.99. So what is that? That is that's about $2 a CD, but you still have to pay for shipping. So for 7 CDs, it won't be that much. Media mail, I don't know, $4 or something. And so you might end up making $8. You might end up making about $1 a CD in this example. But they're talking about Celine Dion CDs that you're going to see a million of when you buy bulk. Here's 2. These are brand new though, for $9.99 plus shipping. Here's another one. Look at that, 4 for $9.95 free shipping. That's different. Let's choose one. Vintage music CDs. That's weird. That's weird to me that you put together Celine Dion with Led Zeppelin. But I don't know. There's this one. Look. So, well, those are 2 extremely common titles, and they got 1 bid. So wow, that's I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't think that would be possible. Like if I put those 2 up for $4 plus shipping, I wouldn't think anybody would bid on it for $4. But I don't know. I don't know if that was the first time or if they've tried that 5 times and finally got somebody. But that's an example. Here's 3 Celine Dion CDs, $6.99 free shipping. So the shipping on that is probably going to be $2.80. So you figure, yeah, you might make just under $1 a CD on that one, but you're not going to get $1 a CD for those anywhere else. I mean, not on a buyback situation. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's all about how you package it, how you price it. Look at this one. So here's an example, right? Madonna, Celine. That's not yeah. So they had 4 bids. They must have started. I don't know where they started it. Let's see. They started it at a penny. I don't start at pennies. I start at 99 cents for me, personally. So I at least get 99 cents. That did not get very many bids though. So that's strange. I would think that would get more bids. I don't know. There's 2 Celine Dion's. Look, 2 Celine Dion's for $4. They're new. Oh no, sorry. That's Mariah Carey. Sorry, and Celine Dion. Adult contemporary, right? So you can do adult contemporary or easy listening, and you can put all those together. Here's an example of 35 for $20. And so you just got to wait around, and somebody will come along and buy them. You just have to have the patience and the space, the storage space. Here's one, right? Pop CDs, Celine Dion. These are all Celine Dion, $13.99, free shipping. Let's check out Enya, because I find a lot of Enya. 82 results. Enya 3 CD lot, 531. That's a really specific number, but all 3 of those are super, especially these bottom 2 are super popular, common titles. Look at this one here. There's 4, 1 bid of $2.95 plus shipping. So there's an example, right? You can start it higher than 99 cents and somebody might buy it. They might. You can try it out. A lot of this is testing, right? Look at this one. This is very similar to here to the titles. It's actually, well, two of them are the same. And this one, 14.99, they actually took an offer. I don't know what the offer was, but for all four of those, very common titles. That's great. Here's another one. People, I mean, there's a reason why Enya sold so many records, right? And Celine Dion, because there's a lot of, whoopsie, a lot of people like their music. So even though titles are super common, if you spend the time to figure out how to sell them on eBay in lots, you can still make money. Sometimes you might just have to list a ton of them in buy it now lots and just wait it out and be patient. Thankfully, CDs are small. Okay, so JD, how long do you set the auctions for? I do 7 days. You can do 10 days, but 7 days. I've done 7 days. Hmm. Seeing as older CD cases are heavier and more distinct. For an individual high dollar CD, are you hesitant to swap out the case for a new replacement case, even if the original case is messed up? No, I'm not. I'm not too hesitant. Also, it depends on how bad the CD is, the jewel case is. I mean, if it's really bad, I mean, if it's got, if it's disintegrating, or if it's got, huge crack like across the whole thing, or sometimes they'll crack and they'll basically be two pieces. Like it'll still be connected here on the hinges, but it'll be a clear break and they're broken, and you can you can go like this and move them separately. uh, yeah, those kind of severe breaks, or just tons of cracks all over it, I would probably just replace it. I wouldn't mind doing that. And honestly, I've never yet had somebody contact me either before buying or asking a question and saying, is that the original jewel case? Because it looks like it's a newer one. Or getting the CD and saying, hey, this isn't the original jewel case from 1991 or 1987. I wanted the original jewel case. I've never had anybody say that. So now there might be collectors out there that want that, but I would think that they would ask that ahead of time before they would get it. So I haven't had an issue with anything like that. I wouldn't worry about that. Especially if the jewel case is destroyed, it's got cracks all over it, it's really bad shape. Sometimes they've been around for 30 years and or longer, and they've got massive scratches, so much wear you can barely even see. Like this is super clear, but it's got so much wear that you can't even see. It's like someone's rubbed it on the ground with their foot back and forth a million times or something, that it's just really bad to look at. So it makes more sense to replace it. Whoo! The one last one here. We're going to end the show here in a few minutes. But I wanted to show you that I made this sale. I was talking about software the other day on one of the live streams, and I said, definitely look out for software. If you buy in bulk, if you buy media in bulk, there's probably going to be some sort of software thrown in, or some sort of operating software in there somewhere for Mac or for Windows. I remember I had showed you one that I sold for Windows, and it was from 2008, but I sold it for $10. So I made like $5 off of it. And it was something that you might look at and just toss and be like, that's not worth it. But I'd say always look up software, especially computer operating software for Windows or for Mac, especially for Macs. So this is the retail case here that it came in originally in the store, as you can see. Right, that's originally how it came in. It comes in, it's got the box in here with the disc right inside, and then in here it's got the instructional booklet or manual. So when you see something like this for a Mac, especially in this black container, or sometimes it'll be in a white sleeve or case, then you definitely want to list those on eBay. And this one I just sold yesterday for $24.99 plus shipping. And this is one that was sitting in a Gaylord, and I knew it once I saw it. I said, "Yep, that's gonna go for over 20 bucks." And it was only listed for like a week and a half, and then it sold. So I don't even bother with taking offers on those because they'll just sell. People will buy them. And this is version 10.5.6, which I believe is leopard. And this is, how old is this? Like 10 years old. Yeah. So people use older Macs. They keep them up to date. I mean, they keep them working and functioning and in good shape. And so they'll want, an older operating system software. So definitely look for those. Those can be easy, quick flips for good money. Yeah, guys. Whoo! I'm getting pretty tired of talking. I need to go eat some breakfast now. It's 8:06. This was a good one, guys. I really enjoy when people, a lot of good people, or a good amount of people show up and you guys are asking questions. We're interacting, we're chatting, we're learning from each other. This is awesome. This is why I wanted to start this, right? Dude. This is why I wanted to start this. So I appreciate you guys for watching. It's been fun.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive. We're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're flippin' live.
So, so this guy here, turn down the music a little bit. This guy is very, you can't really see it on the phone, but he's messaged me again. What time is good for you for the pallets and the Gaylord? So it looks like I'm hopefully going to sell those today. I have to pick up those book donations at 10 a.m. and then I'll probably head back and meet the guy if that works out. So ideally, I sell off those pallets and Gaylords and free up a bunch of space in the warehouse. And if things go well with the book donations in general, I won't be getting bulk anymore, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. I appreciate you guys for watching. This has been a great show. We talked about a lot of things, reselling on eBay, donations, and that type of stuff. And it's been fun, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up. It does help on YouTube for me. And if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscription button, subscribe button. I do put out videos. We're doing the stream live every day and every morning from 7 a.m. And I do put out edited videos as well. So check that out. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. If you're able to go out there and source. If not, you're able to list some stuff, sell some stuff, and always keep booking. And guys, remember, stay safe, stay away from people, wash your hands. As this says, I don't have it here anymore. Anyway, I had a meme. Yeah, stay safe, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. and have a great day. I appreciate it. Stay safe, guys. See you later.